Welcome to the Lowcountry Revolutionaries, the podcast that dives deep into the heart of Charleston, South Carolina's vibrant entrepreneurial scene. I'm your host, Bill Bellot, founder of Veritas Exoscience, and each week we're spotlighting the boldest innovators from the Chucktown startup community. These are the visionaries pouring their heart and soul into the businesses that are transferring Charleston into a global hub of creativity and American ingenuity. Get ready for raw, real conversations with the trailblazers shaping our city's future. Let's dive in. What advice do you have for entrepreneurs out there in the Charleston area?
Oh boy. Step one, talk to real people. Talk to real people early. Understand the need. It's very easy to build an idea, kind of like in your own little box or isolated or whatnot, but reaching out to real people and getting their insights and getting their help exponentially sends you to the moon so much faster. For us, it means speaking to people with autoimmune conditions, hearing their stories, understanding what daily life looks like. It's it's very heartwarming to hear, and sometimes it hurts to hear. That hurt drives intention. That hurt drives why I do what I do. Like, I need to, again, going back to the caveman instinct, I need to help fix this. Like, I need to do something. Somebody needs to do something, and we're in 2026 now. No one's done it in 2,226 years. I'm going to do it now. Like, that's it's me now. Somebody has to do it, and it's me. And last thing I'll say is, if you listen close enough to all these people, the product will basically design itself.
Well, first of all, to speak to the group that is primarily focused on listening to this, the startup group, the first thing is to look at your company. I mean, for example, I'm dealing with some of these new startups, and they don't even name the company with their potential customer in mind. They name it because they like their dog, or they grew up on a certain street, or they come up with initials. Make yourself memorable, number one. Go out on a limb and give yourself a name that gets somebody to pay attention. And number two, as a startup, do your research, and it doesn't count that you ask your brother. Do your research. Get out there. There are research companies, but there's research that you can do. I mean, some of the most successful people I've known, they've just sat across the street from a laundromat and counted the number of people who went in the laundromat. I mean, don't just guess that we need another laundromat. Do your work. I mean, if that laundromat's not busy, and if it is busy, figure out how to do it better, because you want some of their customers. So the biggest thing I can say to everybody is two things. One is start with the customer and end with the customer, and in the middle be with the customer. Because when I was running the hockey team in a town, we were the only AAA sports team in America that had no highlights on TV, because we were in another person's market. So we had no highlights. Nobody knew. And as a result, everything that had ever come to that town had failed. Well, we realized that we weren't selling hockey. We were selling family entertainment. We were selling excitement. We were selling team pride. We were a town pride. And so everything we did is the customer going to have fun being here? And the number one group that came to our games were women and kids. They came to, everybody goes, how are women and kids coming to hockey games? Because we understood what we were selling. So you've got to really understand, what is your product doing? Are you Apple and you're selling tomorrow? Are you Disney and you're selling magic? Are you Buc-ee's and you're selling an Oasis? Or are you just selling software? Well, if you're selling software, the software ought to be, because when William gets it, he's a lot happier. If William's not a lot happier, and peace of mind, and the fact that William could never get his stuff to his accountant on time, and now he can. And now he can go home and have a Saturday off, and his wife isn't angry with him because he's got to work every Saturday because he can't get the work done in time. If you could take that away, and William's wife could be happier, William's going to be happier. That's what you're selling. So to me, the biggest advice I could give everybody is to think differently, and to understand that you can't become more profitable just by doing more.
Well, networking. There's so many opportunities to network in the Charleston area. So either there's alignables, which kind of online, but they have face-to-face meetups. A lot of the tech and entrepreneurial spaces have. So it's really a great way to meet other people, whether they're in your field or not, and get feedback on what you're doing. And so that would be that would be one thing. But the number one thing is get your data clean from the beginning. Put it the same way in your systems, because in you may not be thinking about it now, just starting out. But when you're getting ready to, when you have a lot of data, you're getting ready to want to grow, and you have to make some decisions. That's going to be the payoff. And it's such a simple thing to do at the beginning, to set those practices and standards at the very beginning, and just follow through with them as you onboard and everything else. The payoff will be so worth it in the end.
Get ready to be uncomfortable, but do something that you believe in so much that you're willing to endure it. So things, and what I mean by that is learning all these new topics. This is a whole new industry. I have no background in activism. I have no background in restaurant supply chain. So I'm really trying to bite off as much as I could chew and learn about that. Learning how to read just a little bit of code, get down the basics of prompt engineering, exploring these new platforms and how they can help. Posting on social media, that is a muscle that I have never developed. And doing that I was so scared the very first post that I ever posted, but I believe in this product and I believe in this mission. I believe there's a lot of people that would get a lot of use out of it, including farmers, including restaurants, and including consumers. So, and I think the last thing is, I mean, you got to get comfortable talking to people like yourself, right? I mean, this is kind of like a safe environment. I'm still in my own room here, but I was handing out flyers at farmers markets. I was shoulder tapping people, talking to a lot of strangers, and that's another thing that is kind of, even though I have some sales background too, it's still tough to like approach somebody who's in the middle of something and try and get your 30-second pitch right out. And how do you refine that message, and how do you convey what it is that you're doing? So to kind of tie that all back, like, get uncomfortable, but reasonably uncomfortable. And when you find something where you're willing to endure that uncomfortability, follow that path.
The sensible first starts, just based upon my experiences of other startups in different stages that I've seen, is really start from the bottom, right? Take your idea to solve a specific problem and venture out into the world and try to find buyers for that solution. They're the key to you understanding whether you can successfully build not only a business, but I like to call it a profitable business. Nobody wants to do a startup and have it grow and not be profitable, right? And I've talked to some that have been around for 5+ years and still haven't been profitable. So all it lends itself is to doing the sensible strategic things up front, right? Talk to buyers, find out whether what you're working on makes sense or not. Don't talk to your friends and family, because they'll just tell you, we love you, you're great, don't worry about it, you're going to be successful, go for it. Talk to the real buyer, right? And not your mothers and your brothers and your sisters and your aunts and uncles, but talk to the real buyers and get a sense, right? And that should give you that should give you a good feeling. And that feeling is more along the lines of a gut feeling that says it makes sense to move forward. So be strategic first and then be tactical. So many founders just go, oh, I understand what the problem is, and then go off and be tactical and build something. Whereas you could be wasting your time, you could not be wasting your time. I can give you examples of some that have rushed in and been wildly successful, and others that have, majority of them that rush in and end up not being successful at all. So I think you need to step back and be more strategic and less tactical in the very beginning.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Lowcountry Revolutionaries. Thanks for joining us as we celebrate the fearless entrepreneurs making wave in Charleston's Chucktown Startups community. I'm Bill Bellot, and it's been an honor to share these inspiring stories with you. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs a spark of low country innovation. Until next time, keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.